Hello class, welcome to Pre-Algebra Lesson 1-3, which is all about properties. By the end of this lesson, you should be able to identify and use properties of addition and multiplication, and use properties of addition and multiplication to simplify algebraic expressions. So we have two different properties on this slide that we're going to talk about. So there's this property called commutative, that's the top little box there. Commutative property, what that means is the order doesn't matter. So if you look at the example, 6 plus 9 is the same as saying 9 plus 6. They both equal 15. The commutative property is what tells us you can change the order on the order of the addition. Multiplication works the same way. 4 times 7 equals 7 times 4. Okay, they both equal 28. So that is the commutative property. The associative property is when you change the grouping. So this is when parentheses get involved, okay? So parentheses are really important for this property. So if we look at the example again, you can see if I choose to do 3 plus 6 first, then I would have 9 plus 1, and it equals 10. Or I could choose to group 6 plus 1 together, so I'd have a 7, and 3 plus 7 also equals 10. So you can see that the associative property, when you group different things together, it still works for addition. It's the same thing. Multiplication works the same way. If you do 5 times 9 first and then multiply by 2, it's the same thing as doing 9 times 2 first and then multiplying by 5. They both equal 90. Okay, so commutative property, order doesn't matter. Associative property is when you take parentheses and group things together differently. Then we have the additive identity property. The additive identity is when you add 0 to anything. So when you add 0 to something, it doesn't actually change the number. The number keeps its identity. Okay, so 5 plus 0 equals 5, or 0 plus 5 still equals 5. Okay, so additive identity is when you add 0 to something. Multiplicative identity is when you multiply something by 1. So 8 times 1 equals 8, or 1 times 8 equals 8. So multiplicative identity, when you multiply by 1. Multiplicative property of 0 just says that if you multiply any number by 0, you end up at 0. Okay? So let's look at example 1. State whether the following statement is true. If it is false, give a counterexample. So a counterexample is something that proves another statement to be false. Okay. So let's look at the problem that we have. Division of whole numbers is commutative. So division, I'm just going to write a division symbol up there. I'm going to choose two whole numbers. I just picked 3 and 4. So division of whole numbers is commutative. That means I should be able to change the order, right? Because commutative property means change the order. So I want to know, is 3 divided by 4 the same as 4 divided by 3? No. So this is a false statement because this would equal 0.75. This is going to equal 1.3 repeating, okay? And the counterexample would be us listing this example. That proves that the statement is false, okay? Now, on this problem, you're going to do the same type of thing. You want to state whether the following conjecture, so the sentence, okay? State whether it is true or false. If false, provide a counterexample. Subtraction of whole numbers is commutative. Good luck. Hopefully you said that was false because you saw 7 minus 4 does not equal 4 minus 7. Remember, commutative property means that you are just changing the order of two numbers. All right, example 2. Name the property shown by each statement. So in letter A, we have 3 times 10 times 2, and that has been changed to 3 times 2 times 10. So all we did was change the order. That means that this is the commutative property. And if you do not want to write all of that out, I'm okay with you abbreviating. You can do COM, okay? Letter B, the quantity of 2 plus 5 plus m equals 2 plus the quantity of 5 plus m. Hopefully you saw those parentheses, saw that they're grouped differently, and those parentheses told you it was the associative property. If you would like to abbreviate this one, you must be careful. This is the only abbreviation I will accept for associative property. ASSOC, okay? Associative property. You can't just do A because there are properties that start with the word addition. All right, so then this next one, you're going to name the property shown by the statement. Good luck. Hopefully you said letter B, associative property of multiplication, because you saw all that they did was change the grouping of what was done first. Letter B is the same idea. Go ahead and solve this one. Good luck. Hopefully you said that this was the commutative property of addition, because you saw they just changed the order of the numbers. All right, example 3, simplify each algebraic expression. So if we look, I have in letter A 12 plus the quantity of x plus 18. So I can't add x and 18 together because I don't know what x is. But 12 and 18, I could add those together and I would know what those were. So I'm going to change the order that it's written, and I'm going to group my regular numbers together. So 12 plus 18 is 30 plus x. And that is my final answer for that problem. Now let's look at B. 5 times the quantity of 3 times r. Again, I can't do anything with 3 times r because I don't know what r is. So I can change the grouping and do 5 times 3 first, and then have the r on the outside. Or I can write it as 15 times r. And if you would like to write multiplication in between 15 and r, you can. You can also just write it like that. Okay, now we have one for you to try. Simplify the quantity of 6 times a times 4. Good luck. Hopefully you ended up at 24a because you saw that you had a 6 and a 4 that you could multiply together to get 24, and then just tagged the a on the end. This is the last problem for you to try in today's lesson. Good luck. Hopefully you ended up at letter A, 19 plus m. You grouped 7 plus 12 together and then had the plus m on the end. If you have questions about this problem or anything else in this video, please be sure to reach out for help. I am more than happy to assist you. Have a great day.